So we've played a lot of dive on this team, and I find maybe somewhat ironically, I find dive to be simpler, right? Like it's kind of difficult to like set up, and you got to take your angles, make sure you're not cheating the dive. But
Yep.
then once it's set up, you just like three, two, one, you're on somebody,
Yeah.
you kill them. When we're on a map where we need to play Brawl, it's like I'm just not totally sure what like the flow of the fight is because you don't always want to just like three, two, one hard in onto their back line.
Yeah. Yeah. The movement is generally a lot more bursty and more situational. Whereas dive, like, I guess not bursty is not really a good description because dive is just bursty as you described. But like what I would say with Brawl is it's more along the lines of you're kind of taking extended trades pretty statically. And then when there's an ult situation, you kind of end to end or you pull out, right? So, with Brawl, it's going to be more along the lines of how's your neutral angle looking like? Like, what's your neutral pressure like? And there might not be as many clear cues of like what your responsibility is. Like, oh, I need to hit the whip, or I need to hit the boop on so-and-so, or I need to mark the tracer. There might be a little bit more complicated than that. So it's going to be more along the lines of like, what angle are you doing and what value are you getting? And you're going to need to kind of find where on the map am I getting neutral value that isn't just marking their dive character. So I would just say, like, keeping that in mind, just try to find what angle you can actually do things from.
Okay.
It's easier said than done because you probably like the thing is you probably already know how to play Brawl like shoulder to shoulder off. It's just the matchups, the maps might be tricky for you. You just need reps.
Yeah, for sure. And it's playing the Lucio is pretty different from playing the Kiriko.
It is.
The BAP, which is
What Brawl comps are you playing with and against, if you mind? Like what heroes?
Typically we play a lot of Lucio, Kiri, Queen, and Lucio,
DPS.
Kiri, Ram. With like we've actually our team has had some trouble finding consistent DPS, so it's changed a little bit. But we play a lot of Cassidy, and then kind of the flex DPS kind of switches. Sometimes Tracer, sometimes May, sometimes Venture.
And who are you playing into? I think is the tricky thing because whenever you're playing Lucio, it's always like who are you playing into? That's generally what can feel really really awkward.
Yeah, I think the ones that feel the most awkward for me are Ram and Queen.
Into Ram Queen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's basically it. Yeah. You're just dealing with Lucio growing pains. That's it. Because you when you're playing versus like Ram, Queen, Hazard, Cass, these Venture, even like DPS that could just literally delete you, and yet if you're in the right position at the right time and able to hit your boop and able to do your damage, like you could deny so much of their value. It's just skill issue. I legitimately feel like Tracer's an easier mark or Genji's an easier mark than some of those characters. You just need the reps.
Yeah, for sure. I know I watched a few of your like Masters level Lucio reviews, and you've talked a lot about holding space that's good for Lucio. Does that change much in more of a team setting where there's maybe more coordination around your amp?
No, not really. The only real clear situation in which it changes is kind of what you implied there, are in situations when you're specifically looking to disengage an ultimate. Like you're expecting Kitsune, and so you're going to hold space where you're going to be able to amp disengage out. Because the one problem with some off angles, not all of them, but some deeper flanks, is that you're not in a good position to disengage. You see what I'm saying? Like you're very split. So oftentimes the deeper your angle, the stronger your neutral pressure, but the more likely you are to get caught being unable to disengage. I mean, we saw this a lot with like the recent Symmetra meta and OWCS, right? Where it's like teams that took good angles, oftentimes were not very good at disengaging. And so like it's really dependent on the situation.
Yeah. Okay.
But more often than not, what you want to do is you want to hold an angle that allows you to disengage as well, if usual. Okay, which of these do you want to look at?
Yeah. Let's look at probably the Runasapi one. I think I might have actually been playing Theory in this, but I'm also
copied the wrong thing. Hang on.
That's okay. But I've also been kind of struggling to pick back up Kiri, so I think it'll be good.
So you want to look at the Kiriko then?
Yes. Yeah, and maybe like if you see something that I think we play a Lu here, so maybe like if you see something notable that our Lucio does that you think might be beneficial for me, you could point that out.
It's Kiri Wuyong. Is it stay Kiriko Wuyong?
It does stay Kiri Wuyong. That's right.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay. So big thing with Kiriko Wuyong is You're more likely to hold deeper angles with Kiriko, and Wooyoung's more likely to hold slightly more shallow, but it's dependent. Your range is a lot better than Wooyoung, and his disengage is obviously not quite as snappy as yours, so you're more likely to kind of be playing... Like, for example, like if I'm drawing up angles here, I probably prefer my Wooyoung kind of hovering here or hovering here. And then if you were to play Kiriko, I prefer the Kiriko holding this space instead because it's just easier for you to disengage. That being said, like that's kind of the angle that you want to be playing with Kiriko most of the time. The only time that you wouldn't is if you were playing a situation where your Lucio Tracer or something was controlling this angle instead, right? So really when you're playing comps like this, if we're like looking at it from a team perspective, the simplest way of looking at it is which angle does my one support want and which angle does my other support want? And then you do the same decision with your DPS, right? And this is pretty easy, right? What's the more mobile flank-focused DPS? Tracer, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So then you're going to put Tracer Kiriko on the more mobile, deep angle. Makes total sense, right? Kiriko might poke up from a little bit of range. Tracer might get a little bit close, but they're kind of helping each other. Okay, what about the short-range DPS that has a little bit of verticality that's not near as mobile? Well, Genji, and then this is the perfect angle for Genji. So Genji's going to kind of hover around pressuring tank from here, Diva controlling main, and then Wooyoung's going to help Genji from something like this. Right, that's basically it. Now, if you guys had Kiriko Lucio, if you guys had Venture Reaper, you can literally just plug the angle in. And the reason why this is so important is that a lot of teams get really married to the idea of that, like, oh, Kiriko should always play with Tracer, or Wooyoung should always play with Lucio, or Genji, or Venture should always play with Lucio, or Sojourn should always. Don't do that. Don't do that. Look at the situation and decide what support goes with what, and don't create hard rules. Just look at the map and just decide in the moment. That's it.
Okay.
So for you, it's like, what angle do you feel most comfortable on? And you stacking here is not good, right? Because your sightlines are really limited and you're not utilizing your angles. And I think this is kind of like the moment of truth right here. Whether you were playing Lucio or Kiriko, this is a mistake. You cannot go backwards here because now whose responsibility is this?
This is Wooyoung's.
Right. And who's not getting support right now?
Tracer.
And if they don't get support, what's going to happen to this backline space? They're going to get more. What are they going to do when they get more space? You're going to lose. You're going to get shot. You're going to get shot and die. Your Tracer needs your help. And so you have to. So this is it. Like you're prioritizing Kiriko over Tracer. And that's a problem because Tracer was where you want to be. Now, if the roles are swapped, if your Tracer for whatever reason wanted to play this lane, then it's the same thing. You'd want to go with Genji instead, right? So now you're not stacked with your team, but you're not taking near as much space as you should. And you're not even, the thing is you're not even being marked here. Like what will happen is if you get into like a dive mirror, right, you'll end up fighting their Tracer, fighting their Kiriko and so on a lot and not really taking a deep angle, just kind of fighting them. But that's fine. That's how dive is played, right? So this is just really slow you rotating and that means that you have to use your teleport to take space that you should have just walked on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now the good news is that you do get something of an angle. That's what we want, right? We needed that sooner, but that's what we want because look at the space that the enemy team has now, right? All these resources were committed to you and you just freaking teleport out. And so now this Juno's dead. So, and then now what you should do is, go ahead.
Oh, so I was just going to ask, how would this change if, like, we were playing Kiri Lucio and I was on the Lucio? Like, what space is good for Lucio here? I'm kind of
that's a great question. What angle should you control? Because you can't generally control all three lanes at the same time. It's very rare. So what lane would you prefer as Lucio? Just you. Pretend it's ranked. Where would you go? What would you like?
I kind of like where that Sombra's
standing. You like this little room in here?
Close. Yeah.
Yes. So stop right there. That's correct. What you would do is you would say Lucio Genji would play here. Your Tracer might solo angle. Maybe your Wooyoung helps her a little bit. But you really don't necessarily hard fight for this lane because your comp isn't good for it. But what you are going to do is you're going to win this lane very easily. And that's very important for your team. So you could go here at Lucio. I mean, this isn't terrible. Like, you could fight for it. But if you prefer going here, communicate that with your team. And then Genji would love to go here with you, right? And so you and your Genji fight for the space. And so you guys win this lane here. I mean, if you look back at the start of this fight, how would this fight have gone with Lucio Genji on the left side? I mean, the Hazard Brig would be in real trouble, right? Sombra as well, right? Now, the Ashe would have been free, but these guys would have had their faces kicked in, right? So it just depends on what space your composition wants to control. That's all.
Okay.
It's good try the shots. We need to kind of start swinging it back out right, though. Yeah, so this is one of those moments where you go for a play and fail it. And let me explain what I mean by that. So when you teleport out, your number one priority is to retake space most of the time.
Okay.
So where should you be walking back right now, cautiously?
Probably to the right of that taxi.
Exactly, right back where you were.
doors.
Exactly right back where you were to try to retake space, so that you can shoot this hazard. Because if you don't shoot him, he's going to come kill you again, or so you can help your Genji. Now the reason you don't is why, obviously.
Because I'm trying to hit the headshot on the Juno.
And I don't think this is a mistake, to be very clear. This is fine. You saw an opportunity, you fumbled it. But because you didn't get it, your Genji dies.
Yeah.
Because you don't have LOS on him, because you did not retake space. So the lesson learned there is that's not a mistake. However, if you're going to quote-unquote cheat map control, you need to make it happen. Otherwise, you're going to end up in situations like this.
Yeah, and even while I'm shooting at the Juno, I can probably walk towards there. It's not.
You could, yeah,
I
you
didn't
could.
have vision.
You could, and then just a good reminder to just sometimes it's okay to let somebody die if you're gonna end up dying for it, right? Like we praised you earlier for using your teleport to take space, but that's because you didn't take it earlier, right? But that also worked because you knew that lane was free, right? You knew that they weren't here. This one, you don't have near as much scouting on the Genji, and so it's just kind of a suicide. Okay. And by the way, let's put it this way, let's replace teleport there with amp speed. Same kind of discussion, right? Same kind of discussion. So again, space control. What lane do you like right now in terms of rotation? Not like right now, but where should you start migrating to?
I mean, it might be kind of nice to stand like behind the blue circly thing on the left.
Yeah, this is your space, right? This is your space. What if you were on Lucio here? Where would you start migrating to?
Probably getting close to where the Sombra is, maybe? I don't know. This part of the map feels awkward.
It would feel awkward to fight in here without knowing where Hazard was, for sure. But you could at least start here and then decide what to do from here, right?
Okay.
Yep. Again, you're not changing how your comp is playing. We're still walking forward and taking angles and kind of one-plussing your DPS. But whereas here, you might not really be helping your DPS much at all. You might just kind of solo angle and help your tank. But with Lucio, yeah, you got it. You see what I'm saying, right? See how simple this is?
Yes. Yeah, I've maybe been thinking too hard about it.
Yep. And that's how team play works, it's just coordinating what space that you're controlling together.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem here is you just didn't rotate soon enough. Because you're thinking, oh no, I'm too isolated for my team, which is maybe true, like if your team's going to int towards here, but then just keep swinging wider or commit to here or something. Just commit to an angle. And honestly, I don't even think you need to teleport there. I think you're probably okay. But yeah, this is you guys controlling space well, but I'm a little bit concerned about your spacing, if that makes sense. Like, this feels a little close for you, so just be really cautious. Like, I lean towards door frame. Because this is a Lucio angle, right? This is not necessarily a Kiriko angle. But it's still an angle.
I think what was happening here was, like, Genji or Tracer hit a lot of chip onto the brig and was calling for a dive there. But I don't necessarily need to go with that dive. I can...
Right. Well, I will say...
I can heal them from range.
If you didn't, then you guys wouldn't have had an angle with your DPS. You see what I'm saying? So I don't mind this, but this should have been planned out earlier. Like, let's say if you wanted to flank here, how would you have flanked? Like, let's say you wanted to go through right side. What would you have done? Instead of going here, where would you have gone instead?
Yeah, probably just walk. I mean, I guess just walk with my Genji Tracer.
Yeah, you could teleport. You could even teleport here, right? Teleport here because you know it's safe. And then you could go to here, and then you could go to here.
Yeah.
Do you see why this is better? What's changed? Small adjustment, but big thing.
I mean, they have to decide a direction to look in, right?
Correct.
Their brig can only shield one direction.
But that's the same thing with this here, no? And we didn't like this as much. What's the difference between those two for you?
Better range.
Better range. That's it.
Are going to struggle to collapse on me.
Better space. But you could notice that we can still pocket our Tracer Genji. Because I don't Tracer Genji, you probably don't want to play here. They probably want to play more close to here. But you don't.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go and help your Tracer Genji, you're going to do so off of your terms. The same thing here. Remember when you're helping your Tracer Genji? You weren't necessarily wanting to be here. They wanted to be here. You wanted to be here. So we're still controlling the same lane, but different positions on that lane.
Okay.
You get it? So this is fine. Just don't try to not have to last second teleport and then have to shove your face in here. That being said, I'm glad you did rotate because I don't want to see my support stacked.
Yeah.
Having a DPS stack is not bad because you can always off angle with your tank plus a support. But like this right here, on paper, is not quite perfect in terms of the spacing, specifically with you and to a lesser extent your Tracer. But you guys are controlling way more space than they are. So unless you guys make a huge mechanical error or they have a massive ult bank, you're going to win this fight.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't have to do this. Don't get paralyzed by, oh no, I can't take the perfect. Any angle equals good. Really. So, and that, like, that this is exactly what we're talking about, right? Like, you guys just had a beautiful pincer done. So, next time, just be a little bit more decisive with your setup. And then if you are going to go with your DPS, try to find the best lane, the best distance on that space.
Okay. So right here, I was kind of trying to decide, like, how aggressively should we force out the Sombra? What should be the thought process?
Convenience. Like, right now, as soon as you heal Wuyong, priority is like keep not letting your Wuyong die, but now that the Sombra is like relatively close, you should force her out.
Okay.
It's just as simple as like, how do you know that their tank is overextended? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to eyeball it, right? You're like, we could definitely force her out, but there's a lot of places to translocate here, and we don't have speed boost, so we probably shouldn't chase, and certainly I shouldn't chase, right? That's it. Yeah. But like if I'm your Tracer and for whatever reason, if I'm here and I see Translocator, I might chase because I'm close to it, right? Like I can deal with it. So like the problem with Sombra is that you just don't want to over focus her when she's not really a threat. Like right now, she's not your problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's something on your screen. So immediately right now you need to start thinking, okay, what lane do I want to go? I could move right, you know, it's a little awkward. I could start migrating left, but I got to make a decision. I got to make it quick. But I just want to lean towards the side. Like this right here is pretty good. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
This is pretty good. Because you can...
I think I was... Go ahead.
No, you finish.
I was going to say, I was thinking here about pushing the same lane as my Tracer here, but I was a little worried about getting hazard walled.
Well, right. So you need to be here, but not in here. Right, so you need to make sure it's the same thing. It's the same thing we talked about here. It's like, what's the best position on the lane that I've chosen? It's not here, and it's definitely not here. It's probably somewhere like here, okay? If you get walled off, that's fine. He's using a wall to cut off just you and only you, and you're not going to get your CDs forced. And then you can still poke pressure, whatever, from here. Yep, you're fine. I just wouldn't be walking forward here. That's the only thing I would say. I prioritize pocketing my DPS and maintaining my angle. Yeah, you guys you messed up your healing, your Genji messes up your blade, your Wuyong messes up their ult. It's just mechanical errors from you guys, yourself included here. The space that you're controlling is like in theory okay. Yeah, I mean this isn't terrible. Like you guys have the hill advantage. You guys have some spacing on left, some spacing on right. Obviously, this is a very compressed map. Now let's ask a question here, just because we want to stay focused for what's going to be useful for you. What would happen if you were on Lucio here? Let's go like right to here. What would you do?
So, well, after the Sombra gets forced out, I probably don't want to chase her. I might go to, like, where that car is, play in maybe that room.
In here? You could. Yeah, you could. The question here is what's more valuable, solo angling in here or plus oneing in here? This one feels worse for you, but it's better because it helps your teammates. This one feels no teammates, but it feels better for you. I don't know. It's up to you. This might be a situation where your priority is your ult situation. So you say, okay, I have beat, so the most important thing is that I don't die. So maybe I actually don't even plus one my DPS. I play more passively, or I play more for myself because my beat's more important, right?
Okay.
But if I didn't have beat and or they didn't have any ults, I'm actually get my hands dirty and go in here just as long as I can keep my distance on hazard.
Yeah, I like the idea of breaking down the map into lanes, and once you pick a lane, like pick the position inside of the lane.
Yes, and that allows you to help you be flexible around your team, right? So when you're playing a support, you obviously gain value from picking the same lane as a DPS, right? So like what that allows you to do is it just helps you to decide, you know, where do I want to be playing? Like I can help my DPS here, but do I want to help them here or do I want to help them here? You know, and that just depends on the DPS, the support that you're playing, right? Zen, Ana, Brig, Kiri, Lucio, it doesn't matter. I am shocked that you guys are able to turn this around. Let's see this. Oh, that's an interesting... Oh, that was a choice.
This was a real... that was such... I remember... Okay, so the problem here was... This is actually my college team. I normally play for another team, and I usually play Wuyong in that team. And for like half a second, for some reason, I thought I
Oh,
had
self
Wuyong
bubble.
ult,
Yeah.
and
I got you.
I was gonna self bubble, but
Yeah,
I was
hear
not.
you. I hear you. Okay, what do we got here? Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I mean, this is pretty deep, but obviously this is a little too far. But like, yeah, I mean, if you can get to here and you get to here, this is one of those situations when like this is where you need to be calling for assistance from your team, because I look at this in like a ranked situation. And I'm like, just solo angle this, but I'm like, dude, it's such a waste to have an entire support here. But that's not all on you. Like, you started this space taking yourself, and so it's actually your DPS's responsibility to fill your gap, right? Like, your Tracer needs to be stopping what she's doing, and as soon as she can, getting to your angle, or even your diva, like flipping here. So like, I would just be pressing W here as quickly as I possibly can to like here.
Okay.
Right? I mean, honestly, you know what? Actually, you got to pick, so maybe they're just going to back off. But yeah, basically, this is fine. This is fine. As long as you just respond to how they're moving. Let's put it that way, right? And you did. So yeah. But that's like a great situation where like, you know, go ahead.
My original idea was I was gonna poke at them for a second and then like go back more with my team, but then they just never really pressured me, and I killed their brain.
Well, that's it, right? If it's like, oh, you shouldn't do that in team play. Well, they're idiots. They didn't respond to your angle at all, and so you just killed them all, right? I mean, again, we talked about this with like the Lucio and the Beat. Sometimes if your angle is just that valuable, you don't need your DPS's help. You know, you just kill them.
Yeah.
So it's fine. Okay. Like this right here. This is your lane. Now be careful because your team's not here. And that's going to cost you,
I thought
right?
they were closer, and I had a TP.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The spirit's there. The execution's not. Okay.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Choose your lane. Choose it quick. Not your problem. Yeah, this is just a bad rotation from you. This is a bad. You're going to get smoked here, I think.
Yeah, I was kind of. I was thinking about playing that room again, but my Wuyong walked in there.
Right.
And
but this is where the decision needs to be made now, right?
Yeah.
Like, you need to go ahead and start swinging left. You need to go ahead and start swinging left. Move, jump up, climb up, move, shoot, heal. Oh, got shot, heal, shoot, heal. You get what I'm saying? Like, you just can't be here.
Yeah, no, this is...
Because you've just lost all space.
Yeah.
And you can pay attention on your rollouts too. So like as you're walking out here, you really should be paying attention to like what my Tracer doing. And then, okay, do I want to play that angle? Can I play that angle? Right? Now, that's on her. She's just kind of being an idiot. But just a good general rules. Like if you saw like your Tracer like hovering here, I might teleport there, you know, instead, because I don't mind this lane for Kiriko, right? If I can space it properly, or if I see my Genji kind of poking around over here, it's just whoever's taking that space earlier, just go ahead and go fill that gap and then find your space on that lane, like you said. Let's see here.
On this point, if I was on Lucio, do we like on the right side there where my Tracer died? Like, is that good Lucio space, or do we prefer the high ground?
I'm not going to answer that for you. You're going to have to figure it out. Try it out.
Fair enough.
Situational, right? So just try it out. See how it feels. Like right now, what's your priority though? So we're all stacked in the left lane. We've shot a little bit of Sombra. Where should you go?
Well, everyone's walking out right. Well, we were planning to walk with Kitsune out of the store, but then
that's not how you want to play this, right? Like you look at this, look at the space that you have here. Look at the range that you have. So look at the spacing. I mean, maybe if you could Kitsune back here and then lead it towards point. But in reality, what lane? Why are both my supports stacked on top of each other? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where do you need to be here?
True.
Where should you be Kitsune rushing from?
Maybe I should probably be main here.
You should be here.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You've got a 2 DPS on a lane that makes a lot more sense for you, right? So it's not just, oh, my Genji Tracer's here. Like, you could Kitsune your D. That's great. But this lane makes a lot more sense because it's deeper and it's more open. And that's what you want. So just Kitsune from here, your Genji Tracer, you get value out of it, and go from there. And if you are going to Kitsune on main with a full stack, then at least have the decency to space yourself correctly. You get what I'm saying? You cannot face tank this stuff. Because now, look at your team's map control, right? Your DPS are taking space, but you're getting pincered from behind. You're shoving your face into hazard. You're cooked. Make sense?
Yeah, that was just really bad positioning.
Yeah, bad spacing. Bad spacing. I want you to be deliberate with what term you're using with your positioning, right?
Yeah, spacing.
Spacing, and I guess you could say angling as well. So, I mean, it's not that you're wrong with bad position. Of course you're right? But it's like, I want you to kind of give yourself some feedback mentally. Like, what do I need to be doing better?
Yeah.
Oh, she's going to go for you. Yay. Okay. Crazy greed. All right.
Yeah.
Same thing here. Where do you want to go? Commit. Where do you want to go? Commit.
I should go to the right here with my tracer.
I agree. I think you should go in the small room. I don't like this, but it's an angle, right? And then once you get in here, be very attentive and listen carefully and see if you can make the best of it, right? But you can't. This keeps happening. The last couple of fights, we stopped taking space and things have just gotten worse and worse and worse. Because your Genji's getting no help, your Tracer's getting no help, you don't have a good angle, and now your Genji's getting dead, and now we have to teleport in, they have to Susu, and now we're gonna ult, and it's the same crap, right? So it's like as things have gotten a little bit more hectic, your space control's gotten worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
Obvious answer here, right? We know exactly.
Yep.
Where you're at is good.
This is not a bad angle, yeah.
Yeah, agreed. And this is one of those moments where you made a very important decision. You're like, Genji's fine. I'm gonna help my Tracer instead, and then just find value from here. I think that's a good decision. I think it's a gamble, but it's a good gamble. It's a good gamble because you can't love your Genji at the expense of your Tracer here because it's gonna cost you a cooldown to do that.
Yeah.
Now you fumble that mechanically, but yeah, this is great. This is great.
And
notice, by the way, your Genji has lived. You notice that? Your Tracer would have died, but your Genji's lived. Why? Because all the resources that you're baiting over here and here are not going to your Genji. So yeah, he's in trouble, but he's not getting hard focused. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was good.
Makes sense.
This is great. Just hold this lane. Hold this lane, but you need to be looking at the things on your lane, remember. That's your priority. Because this hazard slashing you, and like without even getting scouted, is a huge problem.
Yeah.
And then here,
I looked at that too late.
Yeah. You cheating to finish off the kill, it's fine. We talked about that earlier, it's fine. If you see an opportunity, it's fine as long as you get the kill. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Yeah, I mean, this wasn't perfect, but this is the most space that you've taken in, what, 4 minutes, you know? So.
Yeah.
Good job.
That was better.
It was a lot better. And it's another one of those situations where if you'd been on Lucio there, you probably would have been with your Genji sooner and not with your Tracer.
Yeah.
Because of that room spacing.
I probably should have committed to the angle with my Genji.
Well, it's just a spacing thing too. So you can commit to your angle here with your Genji and Kitsune from here, but that's a little bit cheeky. But you could also just Kitsune from here and then walk to your Genji. Or even if you just want to solo angle like your Genji by himself, then at least, listen, it's this way. If you're going to Kitsune on main, have the decency to get the spacing correct.
Yeah.
That's the difference, right? Because it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, Kitsune Rush is better with fewer off angles. That's just the truth. The reality is you do need off angles, though. Otherwise, they're just going to disengage it. They're just going to kite it, right? But you got to decide, like, what's better for me to Kitsune Rush 3 people or 2 people, right? Probably 3, but then maybe you could just go walk with the Genji. At least, though, have the spacing, like I said, because this is a mess.
Way too far forward.
I mean, you did space yourself out afterwards, right? Like, I look at this here and I'm like, this is okay. You know, you're a little bit off to the side. You've managed your distance well. It's the only reason you live is because you actually spaced it correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably prioritize yourself with the Suzu here, frankly. Like, I see the vision there, but like, if you die, that's a lot of utility lost. You know, just a minor thing. Don't get too friendly with your teammates just because it's a scrim. Your life still matters. A lot.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because it's like, oh, it's team play, it doesn't matter. You need to live. You live, that's how you keep your teammates alive. Let your D.Va get D-Mac, nobody cares. Okay. Lucio space, you know where you'd be, right?
In the right room again?
Okay, like in here?
Yeah, maybe.
Probably too deep, but you're on the right track.
Yeah.
Keep going. There's a way easier option for spacing. Where's this fight gonna happen?
Just around the bar, like probably close to that crosswalk.
Yeah, like here, right?
So I guess just maybe stand in those trees on the right.
Still too much spacing. Watch this. Ready? Just pop yourself here. Just pop yourself here. Easy
Oh
peasy.
yeah.
Easy angle. That's okay. That's just a map knowledge thing. But yeah, you get yourself here, you win. You win. It's easy. Now for Kiriko, I would probably do the same, but I would definitely again change my spacing, and I would be a little bit more cautious about this. Like I'd give it a little bit
farther back.
And if you wanted to be silly with your tracer, like you could do something like this. Like this feels a lot more. Where are we at? This feels a lot more attractive, the Kiriko tracer, depending on the old economy, obviously. Like if you don't have old or whatever. But yeah, we do need to split though. I don't like the fact that Genji is taking an angle and you're taking your like you're thinking about solo angling. You see that? That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. Because this space isn't bad for you. It's fine. It's good. So then you get automatic value out of +1 in here, right? And then also be able to heal your team. Make sense?
Yes.
Because you're like, it feels kind of deep, right? You hesitated, but then you didn't hit space at all. And so now your Genji Tracer are 2v1ing, but then they're fighting supports, and now we're stacked with our Wuyong, and now your Tracer's dead. And the Sombra's still not dealt with, right? So I think you were like, I kind of want to flank here, but then you didn't feel comfortable flanking, and so you didn't take space at all.
Yeah.
Might just be a map thing too, right?
Definitely a little bit, but
that's fine. Good shots. Yep. Retake space immediately. Where should you be?
walking, maybe going to the right with my tracer.
Yep, agreed. Again, Genji, the space feels a lot less good. This feels better. This feels better, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead.
And it also takes a long time to get back to where
correct.
the
And
Genji was.
this is the problem. We missed the opportunity to take space, and so now this hazard is getting 2 for 1, right? Because now where are you going to teleport?
Yeah.
To your tracer without having any information. You know what I'm saying? Like it's probably your best option, but I mean, like something like this is probably your best option. But it sucks that we had to use a teleport to get here.
For sure.
And then this is just you spacing terribly. Just hold the corner. Just that was some platinum. That's the stress of the moment, right? If you hold this angle, you win this fight. If you literally just hold here, you win this fight. So, I assume you guys don't win this. No, there's no way.
No, we don't.
Yeah. Okay. Now for Lucio, let's just keep our Lucio reps here because it's important. Where would you have gone?
I think probably again on the right, but maybe not all the way with my tracer. Maybe like there's that kind of like orange food stand thing looking, maybe like between
this.
there and.
Yeah, you could. I actually disagree. I probably would have. If you're gonna be here, you probably should just go all the way. Because this feels pretty bad for Lucio. Now you could be here-ish, but you don't really have LOS. So I would say either commit to the flank with Lucio, or just go to your Genji like now and play here instead. Play more, control the space here. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because more verticality, more cover, and so on. And then there's not really any consistent cover here, and they're going to be too far away. So this probably ends up being okay, but they would not have come here if you were there. So yeah, either deepen on the angle because this space feels good, or a shallow, nice passive, just kind of deny the tank from here instead.
Yeah.
But you see, it's really plug and play. You can replace Kiriko, Lucio with any support that you want in any situation in ranked or team play, and it's the same thing. The only thing that changes in team play, as you said, is because you have AoE value with amp speed, because you have AoE value with Kitsune Rush, that might change contextually when you take a deep angle. Like, for example, here, if I'm playing Kiriko, I'm probably going to prefer the angle that you said here or here because I can Kitsune Rush my team from the angle, right? But if I'm playing into snipers and ranked, I might not worry about that quite as much because I'm playing into snipers, Sigma, Roadhog. You know, that's not exactly something you're going to see in scrims as much.
Yeah.
Any questions?
I guess I would just say, like, if I'm thinking about my positioning, a decent like kind of flow chart would be like pick a lane and then choose the spacing within the lane.
Correct. And what educates you choosing your lane are 2 things. Number 1, is there somebody on my team on that lane? Because that makes it more attractive. Because you're a support, you can heal, right? And then number 2, you talked about the spacing on the lane, But let's be honest, some lanes are not created alike. This map is pretty flexible,
Yeah.
so you had options, but there's going to be some maps where you really only can play one lane because it's wide open and the other one is like a tiny little room and you just can't play there as Kiriko.
Yeah.
Or it's the opposite, right? Like it's like a Lucio and Havana situation where like you literally cannot play on half the map because you're just going to get your head blown off. So you can only choose one lane basically the entire map. Sometimes if you feel like you're playing the same positions over and over again, it doesn't mean that you do anything wrong. It just means that that's all the map is giving you. Runescape is more flexible. Some maps are not.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Thank you so much. That's
yeah, of course,
really
man.
helpful.
Of course.
All right. I don't think I have any more questions.